Welcome to Motivation with Marissa. I'm Marissa Mitchell, and here we are made better by the stories of survival and triumph. And my guest today embodies all of that and more. Marine Corps Veteran Terri Tulley is here now. Corporal Tulley, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for your service.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. You just recently returned from the National Veterans Wheelchair Games in Minnesota, and I see some medals there.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
You racked up, girlfriend.
I did. I've got
5 gold medals?
6 gold and a silver.
Six gold and a silver. Oh, wow. Tell me about it. How did you get involved?
I got involved through my local VA. There was another veteran who was, there's kind of a nod. When we see someone with an amputation or similar, we kind of nod and talk and find out the story. And he said, well, do you want to play sports? I said, well, what kind of sports are we talking? Because I thought amputation, I'm not doing too many sports these days. And so he connected me with the coach, and I started going to the practices and learned about the games. In 2024, went to New Orleans and participated for my first time. And then this year was my second year competing.
Okay, and so which sports do you compete in?
My favorite is swimming, adaptive fitness, archery and air rifle. I added archery this year. And then field events. The team events are softball and pickleball.
Oh, wow. Can I hold them? Yes. I mean, I just want to. I think this is so fantastic. So when you look at this, I mean, only, 2 years in of being a part of these adaptive sports, how does it make you feel that you essentially were brave enough to do something new and clearly excel at it?
It is incredible because it's not something that I had planned. Of course, usually these things aren't planned.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know where my life was going to go after the amputation. My daughter was 2 when I had the amputation. And so since then, it's been kind of reframing what life looks like. And so I got involved in the games to see these gold medals. It's incredible. It's a reminder of the bigger meaning of the games and the camaraderie, the networking, the meeting other veterans, of seeing other people that have experienced their own circumstances. Everyone there has survived something. And to compete with them, to bring my family along, it means the world to me.
Wow. Take me back to the injury and what you went through.
So I was stationed in Okinawa in 2001. I was playing soccer with my platoon. Rather than a formation run, we played soccer that day. Was running after the ball, trying to get it away from another player, and broke it. Went to the hospital in an ambulance that day, and it was a compound open fracture that later became infected. And the infection was what really did the damage, big picture, long term. So I had 10 surgeries while I was in service, retired medically, had a few more reconstructive surgeries, and then 19 years later, the bone had just deteriorated, and that's when I had the amputation. So original injury was 19 years old, and then 19 years later, the amputation.
Oh my, what did you go through, I understand physically, but mentally and emotionally throughout that 19-year journey?
Well, in the beginning, it was trying to reframe what my life was going to look like. I'd planned to be in the military and then no longer was able to continue my service. And so what do I do next? And so I used the GI Bill, went back to college, got my degree in criminology at George Mason, and master's degree, and worked for 7 years for local law enforcement as a crime analyst, and then met my husband, got married, had my daughter, and then all along, though, the message was, I didn't know how long it was going to last, my leg. It was kind of a limb salvage situation, and so I didn't know long-term how this was going to go. I didn't expect amputation. I thought, they'll do something. There's something, we can do. But I think coming after all the veterans, especially the veteran community of the Iraq and Afghanistan wars, that they recreated how amputees experience the world. The prosthetics got so much better. There's family retreats. There's all these games now, the wheelchair games started in the 80s, but they really became, I think, more mainstream or more open or
recognized and celebrated.
Right. As these younger veterans were coming through and wanting to still compete.
I have people in my own family who are amputees for a variety of reasons, and I've seen them go through depression. Did you ever experience a severe low or even a low where you had to talk yourself out of it or maybe go to therapy? Talk about that side of an amputee.
So I have a trainer, a friend that helped me before I had the amputation. And so whenever I knew this was coming, she talked me through it quite a bit. And she said that when you experience trauma, your body goes through a natural phase of depression. So if you feel these symptoms, it's normal. And that really helped me to feel comfortable that it's going to be okay. I did see a therapist for off and on throughout the whole process of experiencing the amputation and then making sense of life and everything afterwards. And then even still, there are days where it's work to get up and get going.
What keeps you going?
My daughter.
Yeah,
she has so much energy and just her perspective for life, for little things, for the rocks, the birds, the trees, the everything. She just has reframed our vision for, walking out the front door.
But I understand your daughter is an artiste.
She is. So she drew this one morning after we'd woken up. I was still in bed, didn't have my leg on, and she was outside. She found a slug. Mommy, come look at this slug. Mommy, come look at this. And there were about 3 things that she said before I could even get up and get my leg on and get moving. And it just felt like the weight of the world. It was just a moment of I can't be there for her. This is she's moving so much faster than me, and I'm not there in these moments with her. And so the tears are just going down my face. And Mommy, what's wrong? And I said, well, my heart hurts, honey. And so she drew this picture of me in the wheelchair, her, and then the heart with a Band-Aid on it. And she was, I think, 6 years old when she drew this. So I keep it framed, and I keep it, there in my room to just remember that spirit that she has of healing and have those moments, experience them, feel them, and then get up and go to the next thing.
Yeah, and then also with the heart, healing through love.
Yes.
She loves her mommy.
She
understands
does.
that her mommy loves her. Mm-hmm. And through that love, you can accomplish and overcome anything. That's what I got from it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Where do you think that comes from? Like at 6 when she created this, to be so wise?
I don't know. It's incredible, though, to see how she's experienced all this. And I remember, throughout the process of when she was 2 and I had the amputation, she had no mercy. Mommy, peanut butter jelly, chicken nuggets, didn't matter that I had, wheelchair and bandages. I remember the first time that someone asked me about my leg, and she kind of did this number and looked down like, what do you mean her leg? And that was, I think, the first time she noticed that it was different than other people. And so seeing all these things through her eyes has been really cool. And then, she has her friends around, and how she either intervenes to explain to them what happened. It's really funny to hear her side, her explain it in her words, what happened. And then at this point, she's kind of like, oh, again, we got to tell this again. Like it just isn't a big deal to her.
It isn't. We're different in many ways. We're still all the same. Mm-hmm. I noticed that yours is a little bedazzled.
We go to a fabric store and just go through the different fabrics. And usually she wants to do the unicorns, the rainbows, the prints, the really, 7-year-old vision. And I kind of bring it back, and I can do sparkles. I can do glitter, So she definitely, this is definitely her inspiration.
Oh, she's good too. She's a little fashionista too. I see it. And so for some of our veterans and some who have gone through some of the things you've experienced, what's your message to them watching? Maybe they're on their last straw and they just don't know where their help is coming from. They don't have a source of inspiration or a Band-Aid on a heart that they can hold on to. What would you say to them to encourage them to look to the hills and to stay inspired by what's to come?
I think what helped me was seeing another amputee because I thought I'd just gone through all this physical therapy to get out of a wheelchair, and now they're telling me to sit back down and compete. And so that was kind of I'm going to go to this thing walking and bring my wheelchair to compete. Is this really for me? Is there a space for me? And then I thought, in going, there are veterans with a wide range of conditions, spinal cords, neurological, and of course amputations. And so what's it going to be like to compete, or am I taking the space of someone else? And what I found is that there's room for everybody there. There's a network, there's people to connect with. You know, I go and I've met other women veterans who one was wearing glitter cowboy boots that I had no idea that I needed those or that they existed. I kind of like those. And so you find these things that people are doing in different ways, and it's almost like going to a conference where you get good ideas and you're just inspired by what other people are doing.
Yeah. And you realize you're not alone.
You're not alone from the minute you get on that plane to the minute you leave. There's someone there to help you. There are so many volunteers. There are coaches, other veterans, other family members, and you're not alone, and everyone is there to support you, and everyone wants you to do the best you can, even if it means beating them.
Speaking of beating them in your competition, I know you just wrapped this year's, but you're already training and thinking about next year's games.
Yes.
Ooh.
Next year's games are in Detroit, also in July, and we're excited about that. My husband said, we were at the closing ceremonies at the games, and he said, all right, training starts tomorrow.
Oh, I love that about Rich. He's
Yes.
about his business, even
Yes.
getting pictures now
Yes.
of this interview. Corporal Tully, thank you so much for sharing your story, for your service, and keeping us all motivated. I really don't take it for granted that you're here today.
Thank you so much. It means a lot to be
you.
here, to be able to use my experiences to hopefully help other people.
And you'll bring your new medals next year?
Next year,
When you
yes.
Get at least 8 gold medals
There we
next
go.
time. Speak that into fruition. Thanks again.
Thank you so much.